Good morning, students. This is CS Srinivasarao Nakka. So, today we are here to discuss day before exam strategy for corporate and other laws exam for CA Inter January 2026. You know very well, before exams, what is very important for students is level of confidence. Okay, that is what we need. Confidence is very much required to attempt the exam. Okay, sir, how to get the confidence day before exam is very important to get the confidence in the exam hall. If you revise the entire syllabus, then automatically your confidence levels will be increased and you can write your exam effectively. So we are here to help you how to increase the confidence. Are very simple. How to increase the confidence, sir? You have to revise the subject number of times. There are two constraints to revise the subject. One is you have a limited time, you know very well, and the syllabus is huge syllabus. Especially for law subject, the syllabus is very huge. Sir, in limited time, how to cover the huge syllabus, sir, to get the confidence? That's why we are here to give some tips. So, how to utilize your time effectively? How to utilize your time effectively? The day before exam is very important to use your time and to increase your level of confidence before the exam. Sir, first of all, how much time we have available, and within that time, actually, what topics we have to revise, and prioritization is very, very important. We are not only prioritizing chapter wise, but also prioritizing topic wise in each chapter. That is how I can help you. Okay, just see the checkpoint means what is the time available. First calculate what is your available time day before exam, day before law exam. What is the available time, effective hours available for any student to revise the law subject? Approximately I calculated here 24 hours, maybe 1 or 2 hours more or less for all students, but I will suggest 24 hours at least you have to spend for revising the law subject day before exam. So I clearly written the time available even on the day of the accounts exam, 6th January 2026. Rule number 1, you please don't waste your half an hour time also to discuss about the accounts exam. Once it is completed, please ignore about it. Okay. So immediately how to start the revision of the law subject irrespective of your accounts exam performance. Okay. 6th January 2026, you have 4 hours time. And 7th January, you have 14 hours time, available time, and 8th January, you have 6 hours. Approximately each and every student can effectively revise the law subject for 24 hours. Or in these 24 hours, what topics we have to revise, what chapters we have to revise, at least to get 50 to 60 marks in the law exam. So that is what our ABC category is there. Company law, of course, company law is very important. You cannot ignore the company law, but in which chapters we have to revise, sir, and that chapters which topics we have to revise, that is also very important. In company law category A chapters, management administration chapter is very, very important. In that chapter, you know very well, date, time and place of the AGM, annual general meeting, and EGM also. EGM held by directors, EGM held by the members, EGM held by the NCLT, everything you have to cover. Okay, and this topic we discussed in no types of general meeting. Okay, types of general meeting, AGM, EGM, everything you please revise everything. And notice of the meeting, around 8 points we discussed for notice of meeting. Everything is very important. Types of notice and how to send the notice, and contents of notice, length of notice, short notice. Okay, explanatory statement, everything is required to revise notice. Short notice also especially, and proxy as well as quorum. And representative also can refer once, and voting by poll or electronic voting, including rules you have to revise my electronic voting, resolution through postal ballot, and which is mandatory and which is voluntary, which is prohibited. I am provided a list, and restrictions on voting rights, section number 106, special notice. Okay, resolutions requiring special notice. All these topics you please revise in management administration chapter. Next, accounts of the company chapter. It is divided into 3 parts actually: books of accounts, finance statements, and maybe corporate social responsibility. Books of accounts, 4 or 5 topics are there, subtopics are there. You please revise what are the books of accounts, where to maintain, inspection of books of accounts. Okay, responsibility for books of accounts, branch books of accounts, everything you have to revise. Financial statements. Okay, so revision of financial statements, recasting of financial statements, responsibility for preparation of financial statements, authentication of financial statements, filing of financial statements, very, very important. Okay, and consolidated financial statements, especially how to concentrate on the exception for preparation of CFS and CSR, corporate social responsibility. All topics in CSR is very important. You please revise once. And internal audit is also important. Please read once. Declaration payment of dividend chapter is also category A. Unfortunately, in the last attempt, we didn't ask any question, but maybe this attempt they can ask a question from declaration payment, a very small chapter, but 5 marks question they can ask. Sources of final dividend, interim dividend, as well as dividend out of reserves, and procedure for payment of dividend is very important. Dividend kept in abeyance, maybe there is a chance of asking this type. Share capital and debentures chapter also important. So ESDR, equity shares with differential rights, long time they are not asking any question on ESDR. This time we are expecting to ask a question on ESDR. Utilization of security premium, redemption of preference shares, especially companies unable to redeem preference shares. So what is the procedure? That is also very important. Variation of shareholders' rights and voting rights of the shareholders, equity shareholders, preference shareholders, and reduction of share capital, buyback of shares, bonus shares, and issue of right shares also. You please refer once. After that, providing financial assistance 2 times from last 2 attempts. They are asking on this topic only financial assistance. Okay, debentures topic, secure debentures how to issue and debenture trustees. And however, you please revise the authority matrix which is applicable for prospectus chapter and share capital chapter, acceptance of deposits. Comprehensive authority matrix is provided. You please refer once. Please don't forget. And the 8 ways the company how to increase the issued share capital, subscribed or called up or paid up share capital, and decrease of share capital. All these things you have to revise once. Okay. This all these topics you please revise 2 times in your material and practical questions and running notes if any. Okay. And company law category B chapters. One time you please revise. Okay. Prospectus and allotment of securities chapter. So, shelf prospectus as well as red herring prospectus, deemed prospectus, offer for sale, okay, misleading prospectus, contents of prospectus. Misleading prospectus means civil liability, criminal liability, and contents of prospectus, section number 26, you have to revise once. Minimum subscription and listing of securities, private placement, entire all the questions you have to revise in private placement. Okay. In this chapter, actually 9 steps for public offer and 6 steps for private placement has been explained. Please refer those points also. After that, company incorporated outside India, all questions are very important because very small chapter, 5 marks questions can be asked or 4 marks questions can be asked. Incorporation of a company, you please refer reduction number of members and commencement of business, name clause and situation clause and object clause of memorandum of association, including alterations and rectification of name, change of situation clause, alteration of object clause. If you are procuring funds from public, everything is important. You please refer once. And section number 19, subsidiary company cannot hold shares in its holding company, very very important. And section number 8, company and one person company. These sections you please revise. Incorporation of a company, registration of charges. Last before attempt they asked 3 questions from this chapter, but it is unimportant only, but you please refer once, very small chapter, how to register the charges, consequence of non-registration of charges, and registration by the charge holder. These are very important. And modification of charge, satisfaction of charge, time limits you please refer once. Acceptance of deposits, what is not a deposit, very very important. Limit on acceptance of deposits, one table is given, you please refer that one. Exception procedure, so how to accept the deposits from members, exception, and short term deposits 3 to 6 months deposits, deposit trustees who can be appointed as a deposit trustee, very very important. Audit and auditors, you please refer first auditor, subsequent auditor, appointment of auditor, qualification of disqualifications of auditor, removal of auditor, resignation of auditor, fraud, reporting of fraud by the auditor, rights of auditor, and limit on audit actual and cooling period, means rotation of auditors. These topics you please revise once. These are the company law chapters, category and category B. So these chapters you please revise. Category C, transfer and transmission of securities, registers and annual returns. All these topics you please ignore, not having any importance. And introduction preliminary, if you want to refer the definitions of private company, public company, listed company, as well as holding and subsidiary company and small company. Okay, small company, there is an amendment recently but not applicable for your attempt. You please don't worry about it. Okay, LLP Act is very very important. Category A chapter. This is category A chapter. Category A chapter. Almost all topics are important. Give a less preference for compromise, arrangement or compounding of an offences, providing information to ROC. These are all some miscellaneous topics are there. You please don't concentrate much time on that. You just concentrate on partners, designated partners. Okay, conversion of LLP, winding up of LLP, and fraud, whistleblowing. These are all the very very important topics in LLP Act. Okay, you please concentrate. LLP Act, each and every question is important. I am saying once again, you have to remember, you have to recollect and reproduce in the exams for LLP Act. Try to get at least 11 to 12 marks from the LLP Act. Okay, and FEMA Act is also very very important. No question is unimportant in the FEMA Act. All questions are very very important. You should read current account transaction schedule 1, schedule 2, schedule 3, as well as for natural persons and artificial persons, liberalized remittance scheme, and capital account transactions not to be prohibited list, and permitted schedule 1, schedule 2 for PRA and PROA, as well as prohibited capital account transactions list. This is all you have to revise once. And not only the definitions of PRA and PROA, foreign security, foreign currency, these are all you have to revise. Okay, general class set and interpretation of statutes, I will recommend to read the questions which are asked in the previous 5 question papers. Don't waste much time for GC and IPS. Okay, so I wish you all the best. Thank you.